So here we are with another Espresso Mail Call. Move over.
Mark, come on.
These guys, you can't bring them anywhere, you know? You can't bring them anywhere. So thanks for coming. We got three mailmen here. We have Dave Bratton. How you doing, Dave?
Hey.
We have Chuck Hensey. How you doing, Chuck?
Good to see you.
And from the frozen tundra up north, even in the summertime, we have Mark Andrews.
G'day. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, Mark?
Good.
And Mark, you see what I have right here, the two-gun kid that you sent to me with my name in it?
I know.
It's prominently displayed on the desk. It's always there. It's always there to remind me of you. But thank you again.
Okay, that's starting to get a little creepy, but that's not your really.
So we got some comics and other things, I understand, that we've gotten in the mail over the last month or so. And I think we're going to start off with Dave. Dave, what do you got to show us?
Well, so this is my half DC, half Marvel. If you remember the last time we did this, I had ordered a trade paperback that had a bunch of the early DC Marvel stories.
Right.
And I own a few of those, but there was one I was missing until recently.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I was very excited about this. It's a lower grade copy. It's a little beat up, but it looks pretty nice. And I think it's really cool. I mean, it's Jose Luis Garcia Lopez artwork. I mean, you just can't.
It's beautiful.
It's as good as it gets. I mean, like the story isn't, the greatest of all time. I mean, here they have Batman kicking Hulk in the stomach and he feels it.
I was going to say, how does that work?
The guy survives explosions and bullets, but a mule kick and he's like, oh. So, but it's really cool. I was really excited. Many thanks to Doug and Beth for hooking me up with this. It's just really cool.
Yeah,
I was excited to get it. And I also, there's another, anyone who knows me knows that although I'm very much into comics, I'm incredibly into film. And so, superhero cinema is kind of like chocolate and peanut butter. It's two of my favorite things ever. And resulting in that, I really like photo covers for comics. So I actually had a pretty significant order from a guy by the name of Black Dragon Comics. I met him at a con in Connecticut. And he hooked me up and it was really cool. And some of these are exclusives to New York Comic-Con.
Nice.
And I was just really excited to end up with the photo covers.
The real Flash.
The real one.
With some of my favorite characters and some of Joe's favorite characters.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the last one from that.
Oh, I like that one.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So, and then I picked this one up myself. So it's not a photo cover, but it is a realistic drawing of
now.
Flash.
Can you run like Ezra? I mean, how does he do?
Maybe with practice.
It's like he's swimming.
Yeah, it is a unique style of running, I must admit. And then Sticking with the comic books, because I'm going to have some surprises later. Anyone who also has read some of the blogs or the blog I've written for Reggie on Reggie Collects, I'm a huge trade paperback person or hardcover fan. It's the way I prefer to read comics. I don't care for digital very much. And I'll tell you what, I recently started buying the individual monthly issues, and it's hard. I'm like, I just read 20 pages, and now I've got to wait 30 days to forget the other 20 pages I read.
Right.
So I really like this. This just came yesterday, and anyone who is a hardcore DC fan knows when the word crisis is in the title, it's probably something as a DC fan you want to read. So this just arrived.
That's a hardcover, Dave?
It is a hardcover, yes.
Yeah.
And Mark, this is for you, buddy.
Oh, look at you.
Well, here's the thing. Also, people who know me know that, there we go, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. The thing that made me a little bit sad about this, though, is Spider-Man, I haven't been enjoying the comics for the last couple of years. Once Dan Slott left, it just hasn't, it took a dip for me personally. If anyone else loves it, that's great. So I was really excited about this because this is Dan Slott again. Am I? Yeah. And Bagley, Mark Bagley, who honestly, someone asked me who I'd put on my Mount Rushmore of Spider-Man artists. John Romita Sr. is clearly one, and Mark Bagley is probably another one. So I was very excited. I didn't love it. So 2 or 3 years of buying Spider-Man that I'm not loving, I'm starting to wonder about my future with this character,
Well,
And
Dave,
love
I have
Sony, but
to tell you, I was the same way. I kept on buying and buying, and then when they went into the new volume, I bought the first 10 or so, hoping
Okay.
for a change.
Mhm.
I didn't see it, and for the first time in 12 years, I just stopped buying Spider-Man. It's
I
done.
might have to. It
I'm
makes
done.
me sad because I love that character.
Yeah, I like the character. I love the character
Yeah.
too. So I just went back and read some of my, ones from the 1960s and 70s. I
Yeah.
mean, I have hundreds of Spider-Man comic
Sure.
books,
Yeah, sure.
but I basically following number 55, 56
Mhm.
in the prior volume, I just stopped reading it because I just couldn't take it anymore. So
Yeah.
I kept buying them, and then I said, "What am I doing this for?"
I'm spending money on something I'm not enjoying, and
Yeah.
that may not be the best thing to do because I could spend it on things I do enjoy. So
Right. Then I said to myself, you know what? I am the anachronic person. So I have to be chronologically misplaced. So if I'm buying modern stuff, that's not right. It's kind of
Okay.
So, anyway, so that's it.
No, I hear you. No,
Sorry for the fan.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay.
I haven't been buying any Spider-Man either. Like I was born and raised on Spider-Man, but the last Spider-Man series that I went, oh, this could be interesting, was the very first Spider-Man India. Just because it was different. And I liked it. Was a 4 series. I liked it, but
And I think that may be part of the problem with some of these characters. I've been reading them for such a long time that the stories start to feel familiar. Even with Batman recently, I'm like, I've got to save Gotham again.
I stopped buying Batman too.
It gets repetitive. So,
Yeah.
but speaking of Batman,
oh, look at that.
I did buy this hardcover, and this has a very different vibe to it. It's a very, it pairs Batman up with characters you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be paired up with. Superman factors in, but he's sort of MIA. And one of the things I thought was unique, it's a decent story. It's not one of my favorites, but I enjoyed it well enough. But one of the things I found really interesting about it is the artist who drew The Boys.
Oh,
so that, I mean, to read, and I've read that series, and to then see that type of style applied to, the DC universe, I found it interesting. I enjoyed this. I thought the story was interesting. It's not in continuity. It's its own thing. It's very much an Elseworlds tale, but the art really kind of drew me in because it had such a, different kind of feel and a boys kind of feel. So I thought that was an interesting pickup. This is the one I teased on the show last night. Doug was speaking about Sandman and J.H. Williams III, his work on Sandman Overture. And that work is gorgeous. And last night I said, well, tune in to Joe's show tonight, and I may have something that rivals that. I don't know if it's quite there, but the artwork in this book is astonishing. And this is Woman
Historia.
Yeah.
And some of the artwork in this book, I mean, it has Phil Jimenez, Gene Ha, Nicholas Scott. I mean, it's all comics are a work of art. This is, in some ways, a higher work of art visually. I mean, it's just, it truly is remarkable. It's really a beautiful read. The history was fascinating. And, the work that these artists put into this book, it's incredible.
Jimenez really gets Wonder Woman. He had a nice run of her in before the reboot with Crisis. Yes. Not the most recent Crisis, but the final Crisis. Mm-hmm. He had a nice run, about 20 or 30 issues with her. And it always felt good.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember when I very first discovered his artwork, I want to say in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, I looked at it and I thought, is this George Perez like under a pen name? This guy, he was a Perez clone, and he's really established himself and kind of went in a slightly different direction. But you always see that George Perez in his artwork, which I love. I think he's a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, his Tempest miniseries was like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Really pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. His work is stunning.
Yeah.
So that's my part 1 for you guys.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Well, we're gonna put this guy here then now.
Oh man, that's going to be tough to beat. So I know, Joe, this is supposed to be comics and stuff.
Oh, come
and
on
it
now.
It kind of is. This is a comic because there's a story for each page, and it's drawn. But this is from Whitman Publishing, 1966. Okay, and it's based upon a show that was on TV from 65 to 69. And for any of those of us who actually watched this cartoon, as soon as I lift this up, you're going to have an earworm that you will hate me for the rest of the evening.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
I've never heard of that.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on, Roger Wren. That's a coloring book.
That's a coloring book
Oh, cool.
that I found, and I could not resist. And it came to me in the mail, and it wasn't expensive, but I broke right out laughing.
Nice.
That's
So,
fantastic.
Isn't that cool, Chuck? Now, did you watch the cartoon?
Goodness. I've seen it on. I've seen some clips on YouTube stuff. So,
Well, if you like, because I used to watch did you watch it, Joe?
I watched some of them, yeah, because it would
Yeah.
pop up in something. I don't know. It was like just
Yeah.
a quick cartoon that popped
It
up
was
in
a quick
another show,
cartoon.
I think. Yeah.
It like he would take a proton pill that gave him
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
right.
You know, for
Steroids?
yeah, 20 it gave him the strength of 20 atom bombs for 20 seconds. Then he would beat up the bad guys.
Okay.
But the song is like it's there now. But anyway, I couldn't resist, and it's
I'm not
kind
the
of
only
a comic because Anyway, so the next one is a comic. It's an annual, but it's British. Okay. And it's the great Jerry Anderson, and they're just a hoot. They're from 67 to 68 was when this was on the air, and Century 21 Publishing did the annuals. It's hardcover, and I don't know how many of you ever have heard of Captain Scarlet.
No, that's a new one on me.
Okay, so Captain Scarlet, yeah, they were the puppets.
Okay.
So they would do these annuals. They only did for Captain Scarlet, they only did 2, but you would get the annual would tell stories and tell all sorts of stuff. And what's really cool is the company that did these annuals is the City Magazine Limited out of England. And they did, it's a photocopy of their first issue. So they did TV Tornado comics in England for 6 pence, as you can see up here.
Mm-hmm.
But the characters are like Batman, Robin, Man from U.N.C.L.E., Bonanza, and all that stuff. And it's interesting because on eBay, this issue right here is going for over $500 US.
Wow.
So, like, if you find TV Tornadoes, the old ones, they're kind of cool, and people are looking for them, and they're really unique. But that's, Captain Scarlet, and the Mysterions. And yes, I grew up with the puppet era and all that kind of stuff. Anyway.
I agree with that, Doug. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because anyway, so
it's cool.
This next one is a comic book. It's a 4-color from 1952. Aldwin McWilliams artwork. It was a TV show from 50 to 55. This is only 11 issues of this book. They're all painted covers by
Those are really cool.
amazing.
I have a few.
The lighting on that, that's gorgeous.
I have a few.
Isn't
They're
that
really
cool?
cool.
Just just a very, very cool. The books are sought after. They can get really stupidly priced, but the artwork is cool. The story was cool. The TV show was, the comic book was good.
Rob
We know what
Frax's
TV was like back
imagine.
then.
He's got a
Okay,
whole, I think he might have all of the whole collection.
The whole collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're you can find them, but they're really usually beat up. But to
Yeah.
find some nice copies,
Might
that
be
one
beat up,
I was really happy with that copy.
Yeah.
I found it and negotiated a really good price for it because they're not expensive, but they can be. This next book is it's just a fun book because so that's a 4-color.
Mm-hmm.
And this is inspired by Joe because that's my birthday book.
Oh, that's your birthday book?
Cool.
Yep. That's
Excellent.
January 1962.
Nice. Love it.
Very cool.
Well, yeah. And so because you did your that birthday series, Joe, like I've looked at a bunch of books for my birthday. I've looked at books for my son's birthdays, and I'm doing the same thing, trying to find books to match their month and year of birth. And
It's
some of them,
cool.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them for mine, it's 1951, right? Some of them are fairly expensive.
yeah.
But there's
This
a lot
one,
that are not. You can find them. But even the crappy Western ones,
yeah,
people don't give them away because they're
No.
so old.
because they're so old.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one has a huge HR and ink in the middle of it. That kind like, so it wasn't very expensive, but I love Bugs Bunny. I grew up with Bugs. I'm not too twisted because I did watch the unedited Looney Tunes. And I'm just going to do this last one before I finish my round. Hey, Gary. So this one is kind of cool. It's the number 2 of the series of 4. So, we all know the story of Dell and how like Western Publishing took over and Dell really never had their own books. They had everybody else's books that they would put under Dell and send them out. And they tried 4-color, but Dell had the promise to the family, right, of quality after the comic code.
Right.
And then around this time when this came out, 62, Dell started to kind of like, okay, well, they were looking around and there were other comics starting to kind of creep away from the code, and they were trying to make sure they were staying cool. So Dell came out with 4 of the original Twilight Zones that then the Western Publishing Company took over the gold key. So this is a 4-color. This is number 2. There was number 1, which I don't have. I do have, it's a bit rougher copy of number 3. And then there's number 4 of the Dell Twilight Zone books. And it was really interesting because Dell was getting away from, like we're great, we're healthy, we're clean. We don't have any horror, we don't have scary, but this is the same year in 1962 that they came out with the Dracula, the Frankenstein, the Wolfman books and all that stuff. And I just think they're pretty cool. Mike Sirkowski did the artwork on these, and they're just 4-color again that just are awesome painted covers and are showing. They're kind of like the linchpin for Dell and Gold Key and the other card. And I don't know, Chuck, I'd love for you to jump in here. It's kind of when the mainstream comics started to get back into horror.
Mm-hmm.
And they were being really cautious how they did it. And, so that I think the decision was that Twilight Zone was pretty safe.
Well, they figured they could do Twilight Zone with a jump scare, as opposed to outright blood horror.
Right.
And that was the difference. You could scare someone and you could have a surprise ending, but you didn't want, the eyeballs hanging out of the head and stuff.
Right. And so it's the beginning to where we are today, which is now back. You have, like, I don't buy them, but like, the modern title called Red Room and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
With like, okay. But anyway, so that's what came in the mail.
A quick Rod Serling story, because he used to like scared the hell out of me when I was young and watched the show. But I was down with my best friend and his family a number of years ago now at Disney World. There's the Tower of Terror. None of the adults wanted to go on it except for me. So my daughter, who was very young then, and my best friend's son, who was also very young then, said they wanted to do it. I said, okay, but they're going to bring us up and down. It's going to be a little scary. They said, no, it's fine. It's fine. So the whole idea is you go in and it's as if you're in an elevator and you're actually going down to the basement and then you go into another get into stuff, and it brings you all the way up, and then it drops you and all that, right? So I'm sitting there with the kids, and we're going. And when you go in this elevator, it closes, it gets dark, and they have television screens up there. And because that was an episode of The Twilight Zone, Rod Serling comes in and starts giving his spiel. The kids went completely bananas. Oh, no. So I get down to the bottom, and I said, these kids are just scared. They weren't scared of the ride. They were scared of Rod Serling. They got so scared. I said, how do we get out of here? She goes, well, we can watch the kids. You can go on the ride. I said, no, I can't leave the kids here by themselves. So we come back out, and my wife and my friends are like, you guys done already? I said, no, they got so scared of Rod Serling, we couldn't go on the ride. And that was it. But he used to be, his whole voice and his whole, we were just watching it with my wife on one of the cable channels. We watched a couple of the episodes. Some of them are classic. Some classic.
The Twilight Zones were classic. And then he did the Night Gallery that got a little bit darker than Twilight Zone. But it was awesome. And it's kind of interesting how Del could take all of those properties from TV and stuff and put them in. And when they were deciding to go back into horror, as Chuck says, Twilight Zone's pretty safe because it's a jump scare. So, and I love the painted covers, and I love Rod Serling. So when I saw him, I went, yep, cool. I got it. Those are cool books, and not bad quality. And so
I might have one someplace, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go look through.
I have a couple somewhere, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah.
Anything else for your first round there, Marky?
Well, I guess I could do these real quick. If we're going to stick with, I'll do these real quick. Okay. Just another TV one. I love
that show.
Love this show. Found both books this past month in really nice shape.
Nice.
Just awesome TV. 1966. They only lasted one season. And who wouldn't tune in every night, every week to see Lee Merriweather? Come on.
One of the excellent actresses of the time.
Absolutely. So Irwin Allen, and, another great show that John Williams did the music for.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
Johnny Williams.
Yep. And, James Darren and crew, it was a very cool TV show. And I saw these. They were great.
I wonder if those shows are still on somewhere. I'd love to watch those again. They were pretty
good. You can still watch it online if you just Google it on YouTube, and you can watch the episodes for free. And Robert Duvall was the guest star in the last one I watched.
I think MeTV was showing it for a while too. So yeah.
All right, Chuck. You're up, Chuck.
All right. So I think a lot of people may know I am working on finishing runs right now of books. And so one of the runs I got to finish this month was Batman Family.
Oh,
nice.
Which is one of these, kind of crazy 70s runs, but they're a lot of fun and there are neat stories. And if you like kind of off the wall characters like I do, Batman Family is just a great thing. So here we've got Alfred and Vicky Vale and the Clue Master and stuff. I think this is a duplicate, but this is an early Harlequin,
that's nice.
Early Joker's daughter appearance.
Cool.
So she's doubling in this case as the Catwoman's daughter. We've got the Outsider.
Oh yeah.
And then we have a really great Firefly cover on this one here. So now, this series has the return of Batwoman to regular continuity. And of course, it eventually moves over to Detective Comics where she gets killed.
It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And then it also had Huntress appearances at the end of the run and an original Ragman appearance. So that's what got me into the series. And, there's just some really cool DC books there. So, and we do have them despite what people tell us. You just got to look back in the past often to do that. So, another series I'm working on is my Star Wars from Marvel Comics.
Nice.
We got a nice high grade or higher grade Empire Strikes Back here. So let's see if I can stay in focus somewhat. So there we go.
There we
Very
go.
cool.
You know, excuse me. I've only got a handful of those I've got to pick up, but I've got a couple more that I need to get my hands on. Since Mark was showing off TV show stuff, this isn't directly from a TV show, but I do have my obligatory gold key. I've got Fantastic Voyage.
Oh, nice one.
That's
number one here. Again, you talk about these really cool covers, right?
I love the logo.
nice. Yeah.
And
Those are
so you got number one. Then we probably need to have
number two.
number two. So
That's another one that was only two, right, Chuck?
yeah, there was only two.
Okay.
According to
Wow.
the guide, supposedly there was a zero issue, but I've never seen it. So
So no photo covers on that. Just
no photo covers, just the nicer painted covers. So
nice.
and they're a lot of fun to have. And then I'm gonna end my round with the trade paperback I got because the series never finished. So if we remember back to COVID, everybody was publishing books. We all shut down, and a whole bunch of series just kind of like died right there. And there were series where people had things solicited and they were waiting for, but for whatever reason they didn't finish them. Like the Marvel fans remember, like Nebula 1 came out and then there was nothing. Or if you were one of the few people reading the Terrifics, the Terrific Group series, that ended. Well, a miniseries for DC ended the same way, and it was the Inferior Five.
Oh yeah, I've got those.
And this is the trade
Oh, nice.
with Keith Giffen artwork. And of course, we have everybody's favorite guy with the
Peacemaker.
toilet bowl on his head, the Peacemaker, as a backup.
Do you really want to taste it?
Yeah, you know what? This is a fun series. This is Keith Giffen really just being told, here, we're going to give you a bunch of characters that nobody cares about, except for the Peacemaker, who we're really not sure anyone actually cares about right now when we're writing this.
Yeah.
But we're going to put something out with him anyways, just in case someone decides they care about him. But you've got Brother Power the Geek in here. You've got the Tasmanian Devil. I mean, you've got Dominators. I mean, you've got all sorts of just crazy stuff that if you're a DC head, this is the book for you. It's got Durlons in there. I don't know what a Durlon is. It sounds like
Million Boy,
like a
right?
battery or something that ran down. But anyways, you got Durlon in there. I mean, just all sorts of nutty stuff. And oh yes, some giant angry starfish is in there too. So
Does the story wrap up, Chuck? Did they finish it in?
so
Okay,
it
they
looks,
finished in the trade. Okay.
it looks like 5 and 6 were done. They just never published them. So, but here is this is the cover that got me interested in it.
That's
was
cool.
the one with the Dominator and Peacemaker splitting sides with each other. And so I just thought that looked really, really cool.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's Keith Giffen. I mean, you're not going to get a bad story. It's not, it may not be exactly what I want, but it's not going to be bad.
One of the quirkiest guys out there in comics, I think.
Well, yeah, and he knows his DC history and he respects it.
Yeah.
So, unlike a lot of modern DCs, which don't know their history and I don't think really respect it. And, it was kind of nice to read someone who actually respected it. So, hello, Journey. It's good to see you. So that's my round one there.
Yeah, I've got at least one,
Cool.
maybe two of them, the original copies. I got another one. I got to look through a bunch of boxes to find.
And I have the original Inferior 5 stuff. I don't have the full run, but I've got a bunch of, the original group and their shticks. So
Okay. Cool. All right. So now I've been telling these people, giving them a little bit of a hard time, because I said, this is a comic book place, right? But my first 4 are not comic books.
What?
Well, the first one, I showed this last night, but I was holding on to. This was an AOK from Matt Woods to me.
That is hysterical.
Okay. Well,
And it's a great
Trash.
book. I said
We'll
I was going
forgive
to
that.
show it tonight. Doug is in the chat. It's a great book. I sat
So
down
good.
and I read it just in one sitting. My wife kept calling me, could you come down? I said, yeah, I'll be down in a minute. You know, and I'm trying to finish going through this whole thing. But like I told Doug last night on the 1011, which you should watch on Gary B's channel if you didn't see it.
Great show.
I just loved the deranged stalker himself. I couldn't wait. I loved his statements about Doug's different cartoons in here. You know,
Yep.
very, really, really, really good. So I heartily recommend it. Thanks a lot, Matt Woods. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. The other thing is, you guys know I'm a big Roy Thomas fan. Now, and it goes back to the 1960s, him editing the Alter Ego fanzine, my sending him a couple of letters, getting a response. Matt and I went and saw him in Rhode Island. He signed the letters for me and so forth. It was like, it was really great, really great. So at that time, I knew him because of his Alter Ego fanzine, which now I think Tomorrow's Publishing has a kind of a volume 3 or 4, whatever it is. And it comes out, I think, every month or so, you know, every couple of months or 8 times a year. And it's a great magazine even still now. But back then, it was started by a fellow named Jerry Bale. I think he was a PhD. And he did the first 4 issues. Then a guy called Ron Foss, who was an artist, did issues 6 and 7. And then Roy took over and did issues 7, 8, 9, 10. And that ended the run, we thought, in 1969. It ran from 61 to 69. But then he came back in 1978 and did issue number 11. Issue number 7, which I had, I had 7, 8, and 9, and 10. Okay. Issue number 7 goes for hundreds of dollars right now on eBay because it arguably is the first cover appearance, though unofficial, of Black Adam in the Silver Age. Okay. So I had that one, but I don't have it anymore.
Oh, no.
But I still have number 10. And so I'm going back trying to find some of them. And I found 3. And so I've picked them up. The first one is issue number 4. And you can see at this time it was basically photocopied, stapled together, you know, on the edge. Again, Dr. Jerry Bales was the editor of this. And Roy appeared in here and did artwork and different things like that, you know. But this has to do with the Alley Awards for 1961. I think this one came out in the fall of 1962. The Alley Awards was, there was an organization, I can't remember the name now, that actually gave awards out to comic books and comic book creators. And it lasted for a few years. I believe the comic book of the year for 1961 was the Justice League of America, all right, which is in here. So I picked this up. It's just you know, guys, I like the history, and a lot of my channel is about history and so forth. And this is some of the stuff that kind of gives me some of the information. But I never had number 4 before, but now I do. And so it's really good. So I picked this one up. I then also picked up number 6, which I didn't have. As you can see, it got a little bit more stylized now, you know. It's not stapled together. Well, it is stapled, but it's basically has a, you know, folded over thing. And what's on the cover is Warrior of Larn, which was a Gardner Fox, and I have it downstairs. I still have it. A Gardner Fox paperback series about a guy that looks a little bit like Tarzan, but is on another planet, Planet Larn. You know, there's a princess, the whole bit like that. So there was an interview with him in here about that. Another great copy in this. And the last one I picked up was one that I did own. And you can see how it even got better. This is Alter Ego number 8, the second one that Roy Thomas put together. The cover story is about Black Hawk. But if you remember, in the story, in the Roy Thomas thing that I put together, I indicated to him that I had won a contest. I was one of the runners-up in a contest having to do with a comic book character that Bill Joe White, who also had a fanzine called Batmania, which was terrific. I wish I had those, but I don't have them anymore. He put together a along with Roy Thomas, a comic book character that appeared in Alter Ego. And he had a contest where he had it drawn in black and white. It's Alter and Captain Ego. And he asked, could you redraw it and color it and see who wins, right? So here, Sheldon Lettich of Beverly Hills, California won. I didn't win, but I was a runner-up. I won a page of JLA art, I think from number 3, which no longer exists as well. But this was the winner. This is the guy that I drew. And I didn't know that he had legs without, I think I colored in, I remember like legs and arms and things like that. And I forget what color I made his uniform, but the green and yellow was not a color combination that came to mind to me. So this did not, I'm not sure. I don't think it was announced in this one. I think in the next one, my name might appear as being one of the winners that were there. So when I saw this one, I just said, I got to pick this one up because it's there. So I'd love to be able to pick up, the rest of them, all 11, if I can get to it. So, we'll see if it works out that way. That'll be really great. So my first 4 were not comic books, but they were comic related or comic books related in any event. So that's basically
it's your show, Joe. So you can do that.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the original. It was a page with Green Lantern. They were drawn very small. I remember what it looks like. I got to find it. I have JLA number 3 downstairs. I got to look and find the page, and I'll show it. But it was Green Lantern and the Flash, and the Green Lantern was carrying the Flash around with, in the green bubble and whatever. Like, so I don't know where they were going like that. When we moved, which in connection with the fact that I cut half of my comics because I had to get rid of them. I didn't get rid of that, but somehow in the move, there were some things that were lost. And that was one of them. I could never find it again. So it's unfortunate, but that was in 1969. So I guess I survived all these years without it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so those are the my first 3. What's this? Joe has been on so many comic books. No, I have not been on so many comic books, and some of it is just a matter of being old. But anyway. All right. So you see running at the bottom that there is a comic book giveaway. So I'd like to do that right now. I picked out, I went down to my number 1 short box. As a short box, so I throw number 1 comics in there. And I picked out, how many of them here? Like 1, 2, 5 of them. And they happen to be all Marvel comic books. And so the first one is a Marvel Snapshots with the Submariner on it, which I found out that Submariner is the way they say it in England.
Yeah.
And in the United States, it's supposed to be Submariner.
No, it's Submariner. What's with that?
It's not. We need an English teacher here. All right.
Mark trying to bridge the cultures here between England and the United States. So
Yeah.
Number 1, Peter Porker, rather. I'm sorry, Spider-Ham. This is a 1 in 5. I don't know anything about this one. X-Men, because I used to buy number 1s just because they're number 1, so I didn't, necessarily read the story. So this is X-Men Phoenix War Song. I don't know if anybody knows anything about it. That's fine. Immortal Hulk, more recent, number 1. That's awesome. New Mutants, number 1, Hickman story. So if you're interested in that, and let me bring it up. Let's see.
Are you going to enter this one again there, Dave?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
I don't know what you're talking about there, Dave.
All right. So if you're interested, it's #AlterEgo. #AlterEgo.
Look at Dave's. He's putting in #AlterEgo.
I'm going for it now.
Yeah, go for
it. I'm not going to, Joe, because it would cost you a fortune to send them here.
No. Please do it. That's okay.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
That's for you, Mark.
Come on, guys.
There we go. See this one.
How many people we have here? We have 10 people, 5 entries. Let's go.
Here we go, Mark. You know what's coming.
What?
Oh, bam.
Hey, ready?
One,
Try that
two,
again.
3.
You got to figure out how to split them now. You know.
All right,
Okay,
you know
ready?
what?
Try that again. Ready?
No, I'm not. Fool me once. 20 minutes later, try it again, Dave. It'll work this time.
It'll work this time,
Okay.
really. See, it's kind of harder to do it that way, Dave,
It is.
or Joe, because it shows. But
Lift it up.
All right. We got 7. That's good enough. Let's see who wins this one.
is there a
And the
drum
winner
roll?
is Tina.
Yay!
Hey!
Tina wins it. All right, Tina, I got your information. No problem.
Nice.
You're close
Right
to
on,
Canada,
Tina.
but not quite, but you're across the country. That's good. And you know what, guys? Let me stop sharing this. And let me do something else here. Hold on a minute. All right, just give me a shot. Sorry. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing this, but I got to do it this way.
And Tina's already
right.
gifted them.
What's that?
She's
Tina's already gifted them. That's good.
Yeah, give them to Gary B. Look at Tina.
No problem. All right, I'm going to give away another. I'm going to give away something else, which is kind of cool. But I got to bring up that giveaway tool again. So give me a chance to bring it up. All right, let's see. YouTube channel, Streamline giveaway tool. All right. There you go. All right, set it up. All right. Next one I got, I'm going to give away. I think this might be a Walmart pack. I'm not sure. I must have bought it, but I found it downstairs.
See?
I
So
must have bought it. That sounds vaguely familiar.
is this?
Oh,
So
cool.
it's a pack of DC.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the what's her name, Wonder Woman in the front.
Mhm.
It looks like a really nice. I don't know if it's JLA, whatever it is. It's unopened. But what it says here, it says 4 great DC Comics plus 1 awesome poster. And the poster, let me see if you can, I don't know if you can see the poster. It's down there. It's not very
cool.
clear. But the poster seems to be like a Justice League poster. It's there. So it's 4 comics, unopened. Cool. All right.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
let's share the screen this time. Okay. And it's hashtag Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Superman.
By the way, are the DC
I'm
fans
entering this
here?
one.
You should.
Are the, as we're waiting for this, are the DC fans excited about the casting for the Superman movie? I don't know the first thing about him. I'm excited about her Lois Lane, though. I think that's going to
He's
be
fantastic.
I'm
really
excited
happy
about
it.
both. I'm disappointed in how they handled Cavill, but
Yeah.
I think he's a great choice. I don't see too many people who point out that David Corn Sweat's initials are, in fact, DC.
DC.
And
see.
she's phenomenal. Rachel Brosnahan in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's an unbelievable talent. So looks like they hit a home run. And Joe, do you remember almost 3 weeks ago, they showed the 3 separate pairings, and I circled him and I circled Rachel, and I sent it to you.
You
said-
circle different people completely, Dave.
Joe, oh, that's how it is.
Uh-oh.
That's true. You are a lawyer.
No, I'll give Dave his
Truth isn't
props.
your
He did circle
strong
them,
suit.
and I was happy about the Brosnan thing because I think she's fantastic. I'm a
She
big
is.
fan. You know, she's been in a bunch of different other movies that I've seen, and she's got those comedically. She was fantastic in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's been in some other movies where she's done dramatic pieces, and she's been really, really good.
She
So
was
I think she's a
in,
big
House of Cards.
Yeah, I get a real Margot Kidder vibe from her. So
Yeah, but because you have to watch her in some of the other movies though, because then you'll see the way she is. It's like really, I mean, she's really, really good.
Yeah, no, that was not a complaint, by the way. I enjoyed Kidder's
take on the
Lois
character.
Lane. So
Yeah.
Okay,
Matt
are we all set?
Matt Woods, I think you are correct in your
He's correct. Wait a
Hashtag
minute. What's he
Superman.
correct about?
If we write hashtag Dave Bratton, is that the same as Superman?
tomato.
Oh man.
All right, let's see who of the 6 is going to win this one.
Oh,
Yep. Oh, Tina again!
come on. God.
All right, Tina. You going to keep this one or what?
Exactly. You should
You
keep one.
should keep
Tina.
one.
Oh boy. Anyway, yeah. So I think it's a Walmart pack, so that's good. So we'll
That's
send
awesome.
these things out. That's fantastic. All right, Dave. I think you're up.
Yes.
Let me get you up here.
Speaking of the Man of Steel, I also brought some things that are not comic books. And if you're
Ah.
a Superman fan, this is highly
Oh.
recommended. It's
Cool.
called Voices from Krypton. It is 700 pages of interviews that go through the history of the character chronologically and the different incarnations, as you can see. And it actually goes up until just about now. That's Tyler Hoechlin at the top. Or Hoechlin,
Wow, that's
how
a
it's
huge
pronounced.
book.
Wow.
It is, and it's been great. There's a lot of behind the scenes history tidbits. I think I'm only 200 pages in, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I highly recommend this if you're a big time Superman fan, maybe like I am. Check it out. It's a worthwhile read. And the only thing I'm kicking myself about is within a couple weeks, it went about 25% off. So if you go to Amazon, you can get it cheaper than I bought it a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So
Okay.
highly recommend it. Now here's something that's different. Joe, I don't know if you've ever had this type of item or type of reveal on your show before.
This is a family show, Dave.
Show him your shirt, Mark. Show him your shirt.
You
no,
said I
Show him
couldn't.
your shirt.
no,
Nope.
Show the
no.
shirt, Mark. You got to show the shirt.
I can't show the shirt. You said I couldn't.
Show him the shirt, Mark. You need to. Mark opens his jacket and shows us his man thing. Come on, Mark. Family show. All right, so here we go. This is an action figure. It is
Oh.
limited to
Okay.
1 of 3,000. It's a McFarlane Gold Label Big Bad Toy Other side. Big Bad Toy
Yep.
Store exclusive.
Wow.
So what I wanted to do here is and half the reason I got this is because the packaging is just fantastic. It's really
Nice.
cool. And what they did is they did like a variant painted version. Oops. Here, I didn't see
Oh
it.
no, he broke it.
I didn't see it. A variant version of black and white with red accents of Superman.
Oh,
That's
wow.
pretty cool. And what fell out from here, I haven't turned it over yet. I'm not looking. You're going to see before I see. What number does that say?
It's hard to
All right.
see.
Technical
It's
problems. All right, I'll have to read it.
Yeah.
1709 of 3,000.
Okay.
So I
Oh.
want to kind of do that live unboxing and see what the number was here on your show, Joe.
Nice.
So just a different type of item. Superman, ultimate superhero, the first, the greatest. Yeah, that's what I've got. So
that sounds very good.
I'll pass it
That's
over.
very
Cool.
cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Thanks.
All right, Mark.
Okay, so I got just a few. I'll go quick because I know we're getting up to time. So this is another Gold Key book, and 1967, based upon a very short TV show. And how many of you guys know who William Daniels was?
William Daniels.
Mm-mm.
Anthony
ring a bell.
Daniels.
Voice of Kit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
From St. Elsewhere.
No.
No,
Mr.
It is
Belvedere.
the car.
the car.
No,
Kit
yeah,
the
no.
car
No, but the
Yeah,
actor,
he was-
the actor
yeah.
who voiced Kit on Knight Rider
was
was
also on
on
Mr.
St.
Belvedere.
Elsewhere.
Also on
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah. So, little known fact, he was also Captain Nice.
Whoa.
I have that. I have that actually. Oh my god,
Isn't that a great book, Chuck?
it's
Captain
insane.
Now, where did that come from? Captain Nice. Was it
It was a TV show.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a very short-lived TV show from January to August '67. I mean, Captain Nice. Anyway,
That is
that's
weird.
That's
I saw. Isn't that's a riot?
bizarre
joke.
book.
Like, that's a
Cool.
cool book. Anyway, so these next two, just kind of cool books. I like the Creatures on the Loose series from Marvel because it kind of give you, we got Cull from it and Thongor and a bunch of others, and they were trying just different characters and stuff. So these two here, Creatures on the Loose, is Gulliver Jones' first appearance. He was in about 16 to 21, so books. We never saw him again.
Are those Gil Kane covers?
These are, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So, yeah, they're. I believe so. Yeah.
Looks like his work. So
Yeah. Just kind of really cool, and these were lovely. These like the white Chuck of those, really nice. So again, like he was a Vietnam vet. He was coming out. He just came back from the war, and he got zapped off to Mars. And I don't know. He never seemed to be. You never saw him again. This one here is the very first comic book cover that Michael Kaluta ever did. Now, Michael Kaluta is not a really well-known comic book artist, but he did like the Shadow series for DC. He did Madame Xanadu. He did the DC Warp series, the science fiction series. This is his very first comic book cover.
That's nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I just like that's one of my bucket list is to get as many first comic books of different artists. And this one I saw, his work is just really kind of different and creepy and stuff. So I had to get that. And my last book, this is a Marvel Spring Special. Now it's really interesting. If you go to look this up on Comic Collector and other ones by the name on the book, you can't find it. You can only find it by going Marvel Spring Special #1.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. But
oh, nice.
Oh,
very nice.
Myra.
yeah, that was just, that's a Just Go 1988. This was based upon her movie that sadly tanked. But just, it's an iconic cover, like a really cool character. This copy is spectacular. Just such a nice cover, nice book. I'm seriously thinking of grading this book.
Oh, really?
Oh, I know.
Wow.
And I never do, but I've shown it to a couple of my buddies who are at my LCS, and they're like saying, yeah, they think this is a 9.8. And
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So I might. But anyway, so that's my pickups for the last couple weeks.
All right. That's really good, Mark.
Thanks.
That might be one of one on the census there, Mark. So
Yeah, I know. And that's
not much competition with that book.
I know. I think that's why it would be hysterical if I did it. Like, who would do that?
Exactly. Well, I just got a couple things here real quick. Working on my run completion. I'm now 3 books away from finishing my complete run of The Ghost Who Walks, from his Gold Key series all the way through his Charlton series. So I've got a 42 here.
Nice. Phantom.
And I'm trying to get these in as high of a grade as I can and still afford.
I love the Charlton books.
Missing 3 Charltons, and I will have it finished.
Nice.
Wow.
So
what issues,
well
Joe?
done.
What issues, Chuck?
This is
that you're missing?
136 and something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they're in the 30 to 40 range. So
cool.
But these are fun. They're a pain. They're hard as heck to find. Yep. I mean, for something that is not valuable.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to a conversation we had before the show started. People are charging a lot of money for these books that have no value because you can't find them. And
Right.
it's Charlton. I mean, it's Charlton. So I also got a set of flash books, early flash books, because they were cheap. And when you see the conditions of them, you'll see why they were cheap. But the early flash issues. So we've got a 126 here, second or third Mirror Master appearance.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep.
Again, I think this is the first Gorilla Grodd cover here.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Nice.
And I love the proportion there between Grodd and the Flash, right? I always think of Grodd as being huge and menacing, and here he looks like just some tiny little ape. So, just a minor irritant, not the great gorilla. And this is in worse shape, the three of them, but it is the first Abracadabra.
Nice.
Cool.
So
That's a good cover. I like that cover.
Yeah.
I like it too. And this was a nice, relatively cheap run of a set of three. I got them for $15. So for $15 for DC's this old,
yeah,
you
the
can't go wrong.
Comic Now, each of those. That's
See,
great.
That's the Flash had such cool Rogues Gallery. Like really, like his Rogues Gallery. For Rogues Gallery, you got Spider-Man, Batman, and the Flash. Like they're just such cool, new, weird, and wonderful bad guys. It's just
right. And bad guys that are interesting, not just that they're weird, but they're interesting bad guys.
Yeah.
So
they had some depth.
Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is too soon, Matt. It is too soon, buddy.
Yeah, that is way too soon.
That's all right, Matt. They'll speed up eventually, so we're okay. Yes, exactly.
He does.
You're right.
I bought those issues of the Phantom, actually.
At the end.
I have those.
So the last two books I have are some faucets, because faucets are fun. And unfortunately, for the first one, the centerfold is detached. So I may get up with someone. Now I've got two Golden Age books to detach centerfolds. There are Funny Animals, starring one of Dave Bratton's favorite animals,
Hoppy.
Hoppy.
The Marvel Bunny.
Hmm.
But unlike Bugs Bunny, who has to, turn on cosplay as a female, Hoppy doesn't need to. He's already got her right there. So we're still showing good family values.
Right.
Anyways, except for all the mayhem and stuff that ensues. But this is just really, really cool. I never had one of these before. And I'm not a Funny Animals guy, generally speaking, but I love Marvel Family. I love the Marvels. And so why get one when you can get two?
Nice. Very nice.
Interesting.
Now, what year are those, Chuck?
Yeah.
Want to say they are 47, I think.
Nice.
Sounds about right. I think 47, 48.
Very
So-
cool.
Just a little older than me.
Oh, now Joe, stop.
Well, that's okay. I was told it was still legal. So
Yeah.
Mark and I checked to be sure. Otherwise, we would have to be careful with our collection. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
but this is a lot of fun, and
Those are cool books. They're
and you
fun.
never, I never see them anywhere. I mean, it was just
No.
on a random auction, and that's really cool.
That is cool, Doug.
Mm.
I have to look now. I'm going to go down. Now I got to go down a rabbit hole and find out which issues it was.
Right,
So, and Matt, you're right. The reading on these, they were a fun read. I mean, the Fawcett stuff, for all the knock they get for being simplistic and stuff, they're actually a pretty good read. So,
Hey, Rob. Yeah, they are a good read. Like there's a lot of wit and humor, and it's.
yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
It's wholesome fun. It's wholesome.
Yeah, it's wholesome fun. Unlike my shirt, apparently.
Yeah, your man thing shirt. I just hope they don't throw this video off of YouTube because
You can blur it out.
You showed your man thing.
It's all right, So
Chuck, it's just, you know, who we're with right at the moment. Just I take it where it's coming from, you know.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm last up. This is my second time around. So I'm a big fan of the Spectre. Okay.
Yes.
And I really think that I'm hoping that Gunn and Safran somehow decide to bring the Spectre in at some point in time. There are a number of different DC, what do you want to call them, superheroes or whatever like that just have been ignored. And I think he's bringing in some that have been ignored. So I'm hoping that this one comes in because I think it'd be really, really a good one. And I have some of the first run. I have his first Silver Age appearances in Showcase, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have I think he was in there like 3 or 4 times. I might have all of them. And then I have some of his first run, which was right after that. He got his own magazine for about 10 to 12 issues. But I came across, I think it was on eBay, the volume 2, which was in 1987. And so I said, you know, well, again, not very expensive. So I said, what the hey? Except the guy sent them and he didn't, no backboards or anything like that. He has a double back. So, but here's like number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
From
that one.
April of 87.
Yep.
This is number 2. Cool cover.
Yes.
Mhm.
We got number 3, a little bit of a weirder cover. Got some purple there for Comic Journey. All right. This one's kind of cool. I like this cover, number 4. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get to number 5. And then number 8.
Okay.
So, of course, now it's another rabbit hole I got to take a look at there. But, you know, I think I'm going to go through and get those. The other thing, I think most of us are big Jack Kirby fan, you know,
Yes.
Jack Kirby fans.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a number of his comic books once he came over to DC, you know, like Commandy, Mr. Miracle, Forever People, all of that. I have them downstairs. I haven't really gone through to see which ones I have, but I have a ton of them. You know, I'm afraid to look at them because I'm afraid it's going to open up another rabbit hole for me to go down and say, well, I got to get these. But I did happen to come across a couple of them. And I don't think I have these. I'm not positive, but I picked them up anyway. So I have Mr. Miracle number 18 that I got.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Forever People number 8.
Okay. Good.
Another, and I'm going to do a video on it eventually. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and really do all of the research I want to do. But I was a big, when my friend John was reading all of the Conan books by Robert E. Howard, the 50 cents paperbacks that were reprints of the original Conan books, I got into Doc Savage. And so I have, I think, all of my Doc Savage books from back in the 60s downstairs in a box, which I'll bring up and show one day. But I also have been picking up here and there, and I did pick up some original ones, but I'm picking up Doc Savage books when I come across them. This is in very good shape. It didn't cost much money at all. This is from the Marvel run, and I think the Marvel run was 8 issues, only 8 issues, and I have a few of them. This is Doc Savage number 6. They ran from 1972 to 74. At that time, it was only just 8 issues, so I got that. Now, since I stopped, I won't say I stopped buying new comics, but since I don't have a pull list and I've been very selective about what new comics I buy, I've had extra money. And so I was able to get a lot of comics that I've been looking to get for a long time. And this is one of them. I managed to pick this one up. It's in decent shape. It could use a good cleaning and some fixing up here. But it's Green Lantern number 87. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This is the first appearance of
John Stewart.
John
Stewart.
Yeah.
Nice.
John Stewart, and the second appearance of Guy Gardner is in this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So I've been looking for this one. This wasn't too bad, you know. So I might spend some time trying to clean it a little bit, you know, without messing it up, hopefully. And so I've got that, which was always one that was on my list of nice to haves. So I was really happy to get.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a good one to have. Yes, Dave, I did say that DC book was a good one to have.
I'm sorry. Can I hear that again?
No.
It's a typo.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle was. Yeah, Mr. Miracle ran from 71 to 78. I think there were 25 issues. I know I don't have all 25. That's why I got to count them at one point in time, you know. And what's Comic Journey? Some of those purple covers I can't resist. Yeah, I mean they're good. It's the regalness of it all, CJ. You're just regal, and that's why you like the purple. Yeah, I didn't mention it. I think the Forever People was only 11 issues, 71, 72. And I did mention Doc Savage was 8 issues as well. So there's not a lot of issues there, you know. But I got to go down, see what I got, and then make a list. That's what I do. I keep like a little list, keep it on my phone. And if I manage to find a shop or something, I take out the list and say, what do we got here? See how much money I got to spend, and I do that and I pick them up. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, and what is he saying here? Not spending money means you can save. No, it doesn't work that way. No,
That's just crazy talk.
You spend it at least. You spend it at some point in time. All right. So this was another live Espresso. I finished my Espresso a while back. Espresso Mail Call. I want to thank Dave Bratton, Mark. You guys are still going at each other. I like Dave and Matt, the Abbott and Costello of Espresso Mail Call here. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Chuck, for participating. We had some cool books. Not all of them comic books, but comic related in some ways. That's
in some
really
way.
cool. I appreciate you all. I appreciate everybody that showed up, is in the chat. We had a good, lively chat going on today. Some interesting things being said back and forth. And, this has turned out to be kind of fun. So I think we'll do it again next month at some point in time. And one other thing, guys, for people that are here, the 12 that are here, I recently went over 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody for that. I was waiting a while to see how it turned out. I was up to I think 1,014. So I think we're safe now. So be on the lookout. We're going to have a little celebratory live stream, maybe give away a couple of things, invite some people to say how great I am. I'll have to take a look at what they're going to say. Send them in if you want to be
unsubscribe.
Say about me. I'll look at it. Maybe I'll edit it a little bit. If I get it back to you, you can be on the show. Maybe we'll do it in the next couple of weeks or so, something like that. I haven't figured out a date yet.
That'd be cool.
But I want to thank everybody again. It's kind of cool to get to that point in time.
A lot of work, Joe. You deserve
it. I just do this because I kind of like it. I like doing the history. I spend a lot of time on the videos because I just want to try to make them as good as I can make them. But it's really nice that people appreciate it. And I love you guys out there. I think you're fantastic. So thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it. And with that, I think are we ready to say goodnight?
I don't know, Joe. It's 10:09.
I still have 7 minutes before I turn into a pumpkin.
Well, I'm sure Dave can fill that. Just ask him something about Shazam.
No, actually, Dave and I are planning our second of a trilogy on movies.
We are.
Which Dave is already ready with it. I'm not. So we're gonna have to wait until I'm ready with it.
We could spend the rest of the time talking about Mel Brooks' 97th birthday today. I mean,
was it today?
Was it today?
Wow.
Yeah.
97.
Legend.
Holy.
There we go.
Yeah.
A real fantastic comedic brain there.
Genius.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
His movies probably couldn't be made, many of them today. But if you watch them, I mean, I'm sorry, I still laugh like a crazy man on them. But anyway, so happy birthday
To the world.
Happy birthday, Mel Brooks.
All right, guys.
Yes.
Say good night. Take care, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.